Now joining us, a man who would have fit well on that Hickory team. He joins us on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline. It is Spencer Linton. Spencer, what is up, my friend?
Hey, go Huskers all the way to the 1951 Indiana High School State Championship.
It was a beautiful thing, and you could have waved the towel with the best of them. It would have been awesome. Lockdown defense, it would have been great. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You were at the BYU-Gonzaga game. I have seen BYU win there. It was really fun. How was your experience?
Well, Jerem, let me sum it up this way. I walked up to Mark Durant after the game was over, and he looked at me and he said, well, I said, yeah, this is my first trip. And he looked at me and then said, well, you're clearly the problem, so don't ever come again.
Yeah, I thought of all the ones to go to, this wouldn't be my first choice. But explain to the people at home what it's like in there, because it's known as being raucous. 6,000, but they pack it in there.
Absolutely. It was loud. They've upgraded the arena in the recent past. They now have a video replay board, a jumbotron, if you will. And so
it's 2019. That's nice.
Yeah, it's about time, right? They've enhanced the arena, and it was, particularly during the last 10 minutes of the game, it was so loud. And there was this feeling going into the game that it's time for some payback and some revenge, because BYU has spoiled two senior nights for Gonzaga when they have been one of the nation's top teams. And so they clearly were not going to let that happen again, and that was very much a part of their pregame ritual and getting motivated was, look, it's senior night again, and this is not going to happen. And they absolutely put the pedal to the metal the last 10 minutes of the game and just sent BYU into an absolute tailspin. So they haven't forgotten, that's for sure, about how BYU spoiled a couple of senior nights in the recent past.
This is obviously a difficult matchup for anybody. And as you mentioned, BYU has had some success. But since the game has already been played in Provo, and we saw how that played out, 34-point loss in Spokane. Were you surprised by that?
I was surprised by how it ended, because it was an 11-point game with 10 minutes to play, and Colby Lee is shooting 2 free throws that if he makes would bring it to a single-digit deficit. And so I thought, wow, okay, for 30 minutes, I don't know that BYU could ask for much more than to have a shot to be within 9 with 10 minutes and change to play. He misses both free throws, and then that opens the gates to you-know-where, and Spokane comes alive, and Gonzaga just starts to run away with it. So I was surprised that it got out of hand as fast as it did when BYU had kind of just fought and hung around. But to go from an 11-point deficit to 34 and be outscored, I think 28-6 over that last stretch, that was crazy.
And that's now 2 games in a row with the crazy stretch in the last 8 or 10 minutes. San Francisco's 28-8. You're saying 28-6 now in the final 10. So BYU's got some work to do, I think, if they want to finish the season well, because they did play probably the top 2 teams in the league the last 2 games, but they aren't finishing very well. And Dave Rose said as much earlier, I guess, after the Gonzaga game.
Absolutely. And there was a lot of frustration in the locker room and with the players, understandably, about not knowing how to finish a game when they had been so good at San Diego and at LMU and in some other contests during that nice little run they had in the back half of conference play. And so I think they're just trying to figure out what happened against San Francisco and why the tailspin against Gonzaga, why it was so dramatic. And so that is the key. They're trying to regroup, reset, take care of business against San Diego, finish 11-5, and then hope that San Francisco loses one of the 2 games this week so that BYU can take that number 3 seed into Las Vegas.
Well, speaking of seeding, in the previous segment, we were going all over those different scenarios and which one is most likely. What do you think is BYU's most likely seed heading into Vegas?
Most likely it's going to be the 4 seed, which is unfortunate given how everything looked 1 week ago and how exciting it was for BYU to be coming on strong and playing so well. So you go from a pretty good chance to be the 2 seed if you just win your home games to now what looks like is more than likely a number 4 seed, and that inevitable date with the Zags on Monday in Las Vegas. Now, again, BYU can't worry about what San Francisco does. They have to figure out how to recollect and regroup and beat San Diego, and then hope that either San Diego or LMU can go into San Francisco and pull off a stunner like Santa Clara did against the Dons on Saturday night. So I don't know. I've seen stranger things happen. Most likely a 4 seed. We're all hoping for the 3 seed, and that BYU doesn't have to potentially face Gonzaga on Monday night in Vegas.
By the way, you've beeped 3 times during this interview.
I beeped 3 times?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I'm in the airport. I wonder if it has something to do with the Portland airport. So I blame the Portland airport
It
and
has
the green
nothing
carpet.
to do with on PDX or that carpet.
It is impressive carpet, though, at the airport.
Yeah, it is the worst. All right.
I beeped 3 times because, I shoot the free and play the defense, right, Dan?
Yeah, you're beeping good. And 1 picks. It's time for and 1 picks.
Predictions and 1 on BYU Sports Media.
We give you 2 picks. First pick's worth 2 points. If you get that one right, you get a chance to pick up a 1-pointer. Standings going into the Gonzaga game.
My favorite segment when I'm on the show.
Spencer 20, Jerem 17, and Jason 0, 1. Okay, my
Doesn't
2-pointer. BYU will score 64 plus.
Swish!
68. Thank you, Rylan Bergerson, who scored 5 late points. Also, Kobe Lee, my guy,
I'm just going to hang out over here.
And my and 1 pick. That's typical.
And 1!
BYU will have fewer turnovers than Gonzaga. Nope. 15-6. That didn't work out. Spencer, do you remember yours?
Oh, I remember my picks. I remember how wrong they were as well. My pick made you walk
That's a
out.
4th
That's
beep.
4 beeps there,
4th
Spencer.
Number 1, I said BYU would be within 20 points. Yeah. Feeling pretty good with 10 minutes to go. Not so much about 10 minutes later. And my and 1 pick.
And 1!
BYU would have the leading scorer in this game. Love to hear that buzzer. Super fun.
Yeah, it either means you got it wrong or the dryer is finished, right? So updated standings: Spencer 20, me 19, and Jason -2 now. Somehow you dropped.
I don't understand how that happens.
I
but
don't either.
It seems legit.
Spencer, you're out the rest of the week, so we don't want to hear from you again. It was great to hear from you today, but enjoy Disneyland, man, and enjoy the time off. Well deserved.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Good to talk to you.